Yeah, welcome again to the annual Musician Awards for Encore. My name is George.
My name's Johnny. You might know me. I've been head of supply side, head of musician side on Encore for many years, and head of growth as well.
Yep, and we're your hosts for this evening. And yeah, please excuse the dress. We thought we'd get dressed up for the occasion, but no pressure on any of you to do the same. Yeah, we're really excited to be presenting awards to some of the most talented people in the country today.
Enough about your Encore colleagues, George. We're here to talk about the musicians.
Right, very good. So as I said, Julio, our colleague. Do you want to say hi, Julio?
Hi guys. Hi everybody.
Yeah, Julio is on board to make everything run smoothly on the call. Any questions, drop them in the chat and either him or someone on our team will answer. We're going to have chances to network. We're going to round up everything that Encore have worked on together. We're going to have a little update from our CEO, James. We're even going to have a little bit of live music as well.
We've got a ton of awards to hand out. We've got our most booked soloist, our most booked group, and some other awards that George can tell you about.
Yeah, we're also going to be celebrating the newbies. So most booked soloist that's new, most booked new group, and their awards for the sign-ups who have just signed up this year and made a really big impact.
Also have awards for the best in each category, as well as some awards for recognising musicians who've really gone above and beyond to make a customer's day.
And last but not least, we're going to have some really fun awards to highlight some of the ridiculous things that we've seen from customers this year and maybe some musicians and Encore staff as well, who knows.
So to begin, I thought we'd give a virtual round of applause for everyone on the call. Everyone who's been invited has, I'm sure, had an amazing year, many bookings, and making it in the music industry is not the easiest. So I think we should give everyone a round of applause.
You can only hear Johnny applauding, but I'm assuming you're applauding. And then firstly, we're going to take a 5-minute break and just do a little bit of networking. We're going to put you into smaller breakout rooms. There's tons of you, so they're going to be maybe quite big. I don't know how many we'll go into, but introduce yourself, tell everyone about your act or acts that you have on Encore, talk about the last gig you did, how it went, where it was, and how you booked it. So if you could, answer those questions, keep the conversation going, and we'll see you back here in 5.
Yeah, so next up, we have a very special presentation from our CEO, James, who's going to be talking us through what's happened in 2022 and what you've got to look forward to in 2023. So James, if you'd like to take to the virtual stage and share your screen, we'd like to hear from you now, please.
Cool, thank you for having me, guys. I feel extremely underdressed, having not received the black tie memo, so please forgive my sort of smart casual approach to this very formal award ceremony that George and Johnny are hosting. I'm under strict instructions to keep this brief. That's exactly what I've been told to do. So I've got a 10-minute timer, and I promise I will not go over 10 minutes. In the past, I've sometimes told the story of Encore and how we got started and why we started Encore, but I don't think we have time for that today. So I'm just going to dive straight in and tell you what we've been up to this year and give you a bit of a sneak peek for what's coming next year. So what have we been up to this year? 2021 was a pretty busy year. We're just not going to talk about 2020, to be honest. As far as calendar years go, it was a pretty miserable one. But 2021 was a little bit better. And what was really exciting was that 2022 was our busiest year yet at Encore. So this graph shows you the sort of number of inquiries that have come in every single year. And yeah, you can see that 2022 was just way higher than last year, and the platform has just been absolutely buzzing. So many customers coming to us looking for musicians for weddings, for parties, for corporate events. So we've been pretty busy this year just trying to keep up with all these new customers. A few stats for you. As you probably know, we have a sales team who are on hand to help customers when they ask for recommendations or they need advice or they want to see different options. We counted up 23,407 phone calls that they had with customers this year. So that is actually 10,000 more than last year. They were extremely busy this year. Our customer experience team are also on hand to help customers who have last-minute requests. So we actually have a team who help on Friday evenings and all the way through Saturday. If anything goes wrong just before the gig, or if a customer has like a last minute request, they're on hand to help. And they had over 6,000 phone calls this year. George, Julio, and Johnny helped all of you with more than 4,000 requests. Anything from how do I get set up on Encore to I've got an issue with a gig and I'd like your help with it. So they've been busy. Our tech team have added over 130,000 lines of code to the entire Encore platform, and I'll cover what some of those lines of code we're doing in a second. But they made over 1,000 alterations and edits and upgrades to the website this year. So hopefully you've noticed the platform changing a lot over the last year. We're actually hiring a few more developers and a few more people to join our product team next year. So the pace of change at Encore is going to be even faster. We're really excited about that. So yeah, in total, there were over 10,000 bookings made by our customers this year. We're not 100% sure, but we think that might make us the biggest provider of live musicians in the UK by number of bookings. And it means that you are on the busiest marketplace, like the busiest platform in the UK. So Encore is a great place to find new customers and to take new bookings. And there were over 10,000 secured this year. So you're probably wondering, like, where were they? What does 10,000 look like? George very helpfully put together this map, and this shows every single booking. We've pretty much covered England. We've made good progress in Scotland and Wales, and we're just starting to sort of push into Ireland now. But bookings all over the country, and especially down here in like the south of England, we've had musicians playing at pretty much every single venue in England now. We even had some bookings abroad. There was a question about this at the Encore drinks that we hosted a few weeks ago. We're not proactively looking for customers in other countries at the moment, but quite often they come to us and they say something like, I'm getting married in the south of France and I'd really like to fly someone out from the UK. So we did do a smattering of international bookings this year, but right now it's not something that we are actively focused on. In terms of the most popular requests, saxophone was the most popular request this year, followed closely by singing guitarist and singer. So yeah, if you're thinking about learning a new instrument in 2023, saxophone would be the one that I would recommend. And we smashed a lot of records this year at Encore. We had our biggest month ever in October, and we actually paid out over £500,000 to Encore members just in October alone. We also this year helped musicians earn over £5 million in total, which we're really proud of and really excited about. This number just keeps climbing every single month. And since we started Encore, all of you and everyone else not on this call have earned together nearly £15 million. So yeah, there's a lot of money going through Encore now and a lot of money going into the pockets of musicians. So what have we built for you this year? There's been a lot of changes and new features on the website. I'm going to rattle through these because, again, I've been told to keep it brief. But you can now send quotes if you're quoting as a band. You can send quotes from multiple lineups, and the customer can sort of choose whether they want 3, 4, or 5 musicians, for example. We launched the Encore Academy, which helps you learn about all the features on Encore. When Encore started, it was an extremely simple website. And if you were with us several years ago, you'll remember how basic Encore was. It's now become a lot more advanced, and there's a lot of cool features that save you time on the marketplace. So I recommend checking out the Academy if you haven't already. We launched the community forum. That's where you can go and talk with other musicians. You can make suggestions for how Encore could be better. We run these live profile reviews where we go through musicians' profiles and sort of offer feedback and tips on how to make it better with a live stream for anyone that wants to watch. And it's just a great place to talk about like how to get more bookings and how we can make Encore better for you. We launched a new messenger. The old messenger was pretty basic. The new one is much better. And we also launched attachments, so you can add videos and audio from your profile into the conversation with the customer. We added unlisted videos, so you can have videos on your profile that don't appear publicly, but if you want to share like a private demo with a client, you can do that. We launched review replies, so when someone leaves you a really nice review, you can send a follow-up saying thank you. And sometimes, occasionally, someone leaves a review that you might not think is entirely fair. And so you can use this section to sort of show your side of the story to future customers. We also launched this pre-event checklist. So there's quite a lot of things that you have to go through for every gig, and like just things you want to run through. And we've built this checklist to help you like keep on top of all the stuff you need to do before going out to a booking. Last year, we also started fighting the climate crisis here at Encore. We offset the carbon emissions of your travel. So when you get a booking, we ask how you're going to travel to the gig, and then we pay to offset the carbon emissions of that. And we also plant a tree for every single booking as well. So this does actually make Encore the most sustainable place to book musicians in the world. It's something that we care about a lot. It's something that I know a lot of you care about. And we've had a lot of music agencies actually copy us in the last 12 months and start planting trees for bookings. And this is something we're really happy about and really excited about, because we want the music industry to do more on this. So last year, we made a promise to plant 20,000 trees by the end of this year. And we actually hit that target last week. So we just got there before the deadline with about 15 days to spare. But yeah, we're really, really happy about this. And this is only the start of what we're doing. We also offset nearly 500 tons of CO2. And that is the equivalent to 362 long-haul flights, or over 1,000 square meters of sea ice saved, or over 1 million miles driven in a car. So this does all add up. And you might be wondering, where are these trees that we're planting? So we plant trees with a partner called Ecology, and this is where they have planted all of these trees. And this is a pie chart that George very helpfully put together. So you can see that about half the trees that are being planted have gone into Madagascar, and then Kenya and Mozambique are the second and third. So I've got about 2 minutes, and I'm going to rattle through what's coming next. I might be running out of time. We have started a new partnerships team at Encore, which is really exciting. We're building relationships with venues and with corporate bookers and event agencies. This is an example of a booking we did with Coca-Cola on Piccadilly Circus just a couple of weeks ago. So you can expect more high-end bookings from corporate clients in 2023. We're also building a brand new calendar. The calendar on Encore at the moment, again, is very basic. We want to build an amazing calendar specifically for managing all of your bookings. So this is a sneak preview of what that calendar is going to look like. If you've ever used Google Calendar or Apple Calendar, it might look quite familiar. So we sent out a survey about this, I think, a week ago, and there's a £200 prize up for grabs there. So I think Julio will share the link for that survey at the end, and we'd love for you to take, I think it's 3 minutes, just to fill out that survey so that we can build the perfect calendar for you. And the biggest thing that's coming next year is this idea of instant quotes. So we know that Encore does take some time. It has some admin that you need to do if you want to get bookings. You need to reply to these jobs and these direct inquiries, and you need to sort of be on your phone to like send a quote quite quickly to a customer. And that was fine when we were really small, but now that Encore is so busy and so popular with customers, it means that you probably do spend like a significant part of your week just like replying to Encore inquiries. And we want you to spend your time making music, not doing admin. So we've been imagining this system where actually quotes go to customers immediately. And we know that that's quite a difficult thing to achieve. And so we spent a lot of time trying to understand how we can do this. And we've spent about 6 months now building this new instant quoting system. I really am out of time, so I'm just going to give you a brief preview of this, and you'll learn more about this next year when it comes out. Essentially, we'll ask you which parts of the country you are gigging in and which areas you want to sort of take bookings in, and you can adjust your price for each of those areas. We'll ask you if you want to charge more in certain months, or if you want to offer a slight discount in some of the quieter months, and the same with like the days of the week. We'll ask about certain key dates, like you want to charge a lot more on Christmas Day, or you want to charge even more on New Year's Eve. And we've been doing these weekly feedback sessions for the last 2 or 3 months now, building this with a few people who have offered to sort of be guinea pigs and test it out. The really exciting thing is that we've had 5 musicians trying this so far, and I think they've had about 20 bookings now from this new system. So we will go into this in a lot more detail with you next year, and there'll be a lot more information about how this is going to work. but we think that it could help you get even more bookings and massively reduce the amount of time that you actually have to spend sending quotes on Encore. So if everything goes to plan next year, we hope to do 20,000 gigs. And I've also just been asked to sort of remind you to think about the options that you're offering to clients, and perhaps next year is the time to expand what you offer to clients. Now could be a good time to think about getting some new videos shot, getting some new photos taken, and we offer partnerships with companies that will give you a discount because you're an Encore member. And also the Encore Academy. I've been asked to remind you to fill out the Encore Academy and learn about how Encore works and how these features work. Right, I think that was 11 minutes. I'm very sorry, George and Johnny. That was a speed run, but thank you so much for listening to me, and I'll hand back to your marvelous hosts, George and Johnny.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, James. Yeah, it's easy to forget how much has happened in the last year and like how different the website looked. I find it strange to think that, you know, all those things weren't here this time last year. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the inaugural Encore Christmas Awards. So, Julio, why don't you share the slides and we'll make a start. There we go. Right, welcome.
Thank you very much. I believe we had a fan. We were trying to get a fan. Thank you, Julio. You have no idea how much technical effort went into providing a short burst of very trashy fanfare music. Yeah, thanks, James. That was great, and a very quick whistle-stop tour of what we've been working on. If you want to hear presentations like that in future, head on down to our Encore Drinks events, where James talks about these sorts of things in a bit more detail. So on to the awards. These are obviously about recognizing the achievements of you guys and looking at who's won the most bookings in 2022. To keep things running, we're going to go through 3 awards at a time, and then we'll applaud at the end of the 3rd award. This doesn't dilute from the achievements of each musician, but it's just in the interest of time. So we're going to begin with the group awards, head on to the soloists, we'll have some regional awards, and then George is going to present a few bonus awards to end with. On to the group awards. So the first 3 awards we're going to talk through are trio of folky type lineups, beginning with the Cayley Band Award with a total of 35 bookings. This year it's Cayley with us, part of the collective Sound with Us, run by Lilac Shear, a band leader and singer that everyone on the Encore team is pretty familiar with. She's one of the most active members of Encore. She's always giving feedback. She's joined us on many occasions at our in-person events and is always doing her utmost to improve her offerings. I think she runs about 10 bands at this stage, covering lots of genres. So really impressive work, Lilac. Very well done. On to the Acoustic Duo Award with 33 bookings. String of Roses have won for the 2nd year in a row. Impressive considering their lineup is a cellist and a singing guitarist, which isn't typical for an acoustic duo lineup. Most people want a singer and a guitarist. So Rebecca and Charlie of String of Roses have done really well there, and they've proved you can do an unusual lineup successfully. And then for our Band Award, very popular during Oktoberfest, Deutsche Blasmusik, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, have won it this year. And yeah, again, a double crown. They scooped it up last year. So well done to them, or should I say, gut gemacht, which is well done in German for anyone here who isn't fluent in German like me. Next, we have our acoustic group awards. So beginning with string quartet, I believe, or maybe not. Gospel choir, we have
Gospel choir
with 47 bookings. You might have seen that. It's actually gold, run by Wura Abibola, an amazing singer and band leader who we also had the pleasure of meeting a few weeks ago at our Encore Drinks event. They've knocked it out of the park, and this is by far and away the highest number of bookings we've ever seen from a gospel choir in 1 year. So really well done. Now I believe it actually is the String Quartet Award with 31 bookings. It is Dolce Strings. And it's, again, a 2nd year in a row winning for these guys. They've almost doubled their total number of bookings since last year So really impressive from them. They're Manchester based as well, so they don't have the high level of inquiries that most Southeast bands get. So especially well done for them, to them. And next up, we have our String Duo Award, which goes to 7 Duo. They won 33 bookings this year. And as I say, Dolce Strings won 31 bookings. So impressive that these guys managed to get even more bookings than a string quartet, probably the more popular type. Amazing work, guys.
Well done, everyone.
Next, we move on to our pop and rock band tags. These are all tags that might overlap a little bit, but these are all looking at artists that have this particular tag as their primary tag. So first up, we have, I believe, the cover band category with 19 bookings. No, unfortunately, it's not the cover band category, it's the indie band category. With 22 bookings, it's amped up. Again, another award streak. These guys won our Best New Band award in 2021. So it's really great to see them not only join last year, do really well, but they've continued to progress in 2022. There's a bit of a theme going on here. Now it is actually the cover band category award. With 19 bookings, going right into the lead is indeed Leader, a London-based pop rock trio who have been lapping up the gigs this year. And then finally, a award for our most booked function band goes to Leroy and the Euphonics, a really funky Birmingham outfit. Recommend you check out their videos. Leroy's an amazing singer, and they scored 22 bookings. So well done to those bands. Next, more bands. This time onto our most booked Soul and Motown award. Yes, got it right this time. With 16 bookings, Julia and the Lizards slithered their way to the top. It's run by Jose Sacristan, probably one of the best communicators with customers we've come across. He's a brilliant drummer as well. And you might have spotted him from a recent event that we hosted in our community forum. He gave a really useful interview explaining how he runs bands, how he communicates with customers, how he crafts messages that help him get bookings. So it's hardly a surprise, and well done to Jose. On to our most booked Mumford & Sons category. This is a really rapidly growing market. Party band, in fact. Mumford & Sons will be next. The Maestros won our party band category with a total of 25 bookings. They've got 65-star reviews on their Encore profile. They've been with us 6 years. They're seasoned, and they just deliver the goods with every booking. So well done to them. Onto our Mumford & Sons category. Thank you very much. As I say, a rapidly growing market with 17 bookings. Hat and the Fiddle. They're a Welsh-based band run by a guy called Marcus, who might be with us. They are extremely popular. We can never really keep up with the number of inquiries they get. And I think that's partly due to the fact that Mumford & Sons bands are really popular, and partly because they're in Wales. So if anyone knows any bands in Wales, please do put them in touch. But well done to those three groups. Now on to some slightly less typical band lineups. First up, our Steel Drums Band Award. This goes to Caribbean Regal Steel Band, who stole the crown with 10 bookings. Then our most booked mariachi band this year, again, another very popular market, was Mariachi Jalisco with 31 bookings. Very well done. And our most booked brass band this year was Big Smoke Brass, who took the prize with 14 bookings. So congratulations to you guys. And then our final group category award winners. First of all, I believe it will be jazz band. Maybe Julio, you can go on to the, yes, correct. This is actually a dead heat between Neon Blue, who were our winners last year, an amazing trio based in Bristol, and the Ben Harker trio, who both scored 12 bookings apiece. So well done to those guys. And last but not least, our most booked choir was Euphony Voices, run by Kathleen, who's also very active in the community forum. This is the second year they've won this award. So again, an award streak for them. So really well done to all of those group category awards. And apologies for the slight miscommunication on the running order. So next up, the moment you've been waiting for, the overall group awards. Who got the most bookings out of all groups? We'll begin with the most booked new group, so a band or an ensemble that signed up in 2022 and managed to knock it out of the park from the moment they signed up. So drum roll, please. The award goes to Danger Goat. Congratulations, guys. This is an amazing high-energy brass-led 6-piece band. They play Latin jazz, klezmer, Afrobeat, everything in between. I certainly want to go to one of their gigs soon, and they thoroughly deserve the award for Best Rising Star, with a total of 14 bookings this year. If we can have a quick clap for them. Thanks very much. I certainly want to go to a festival and dance to them. They sound perfect for an outdoor event. And now onto the big one, the highest number of total bookings in 2022. This is an actual drum roll. Thanks very much for producing that gift, Julio. Goes to Eccentric Pony. For the second year running, well done to Eccentric Pony for winning the top booked group awards with 62 bookings. So let's first of all hear a little bit of what they sound like. And I believe we might hear Ooh, amazing. You can see they've got a really well-produced video, amazing sound. So round of applause for Eccentric Pony. Do we have Jimmy in the audience who might be able to step up?
Yeah, we do.
Amazing. If someone would
Hey.
be able to, Julio, maybe you can pin Jimmy and then we can have a quick chat with him. Congratulations, Jimmy. Amazing to
Thank you very much.
scored the highest number of bookings for the second year in a row. How does it feel?
Yeah, good. Tired.
Yeah, you've been very busy. That's more than
Yeah.
one booking every week.
Yeah.
So do you have any top tips for musicians who come to you and say, well, I've just joined Encore with a band. What would I need to do in order to get that number of bookings?
Being responsive to all the inquiries and stuff, making sure you're quick off the mark, and sending out tons, applying to loads. Like you're not going to win everyone. The percentage is quite low, really. But you need to just treat every gig as though it's going to come off, even though that particular gig probably won't come off. It's worth putting the effort in because eventually they are going to.
Yeah, there's certainly a big variety of different customer types that use Encore. Some might just be browsing, some might come to you and they just want to book you guys and that's it. Are there any bookings that stick out for you or any memorable bookings this year? I appreciate it's probably a bit of a blur.
Yeah. A couple of recent ones we did, 2 back-to-back, which were Christmas parties. One was for a RAF officers party, which was massive, really elaborate. They did like an alpine village kind of thing, and it was huge, ridiculous. But then the day after, we played for a group of bathroom fitters in a little pub, which was brilliant. Both gigs were great. We were staying over at both gigs, so we got to get stuck in and party with the guys and have a drink and stuff as well. But yeah, it was quite nice, the contrast between the RAF and the bathroom fitters.
Amazing. I also know you have a really good Instagram presence and you often upload videos from your gigs. And I can tell that your customers love your playing. There was one I noticed that involved the groom or like the best man on the shoulders of someone else at the party with a tie around his
Yeah.
head while you're
That's the
playing.
Yeah, that's what we go for.
Amazing. And is there anything going to the next year? Is there anything we should look out for that you guys are doing? Are you working on any new projects or any new lineups? What's your plan?
Yeah, we're doing a bunch of new promo, a lot of new videos. Trying to work on we're doing the same studio kind of videos again. We're going to try and sort some live stuff out, just figuring the logistics out really, because you don't want to waste money on getting a videographer to a gig that's not going particularly well, or we need to find a venue that we've played before that we know is going to look great and it's going to be a lively one. So we're going to try and get some decent live footage, and yeah, just crack on.
Love it.
Great advice. Just crack on. And it sounds like you might be a good candidate to try out some of the instant booking technology that James mentioned we're developing. As you say, we're sending out quite a lot of inquiries. Our main aim next year is to reduce that admin load and make sure you can just focus on the gigging side.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah. But thanks so much, Jimmy. I really appreciate you speaking and sharing your wisdom, and congratulations again for winning the award for most book group.
Yes, have
Thank you
another
very
round.
much. Nice one.
Thank you. And now I believe we might have another Encore musician who might be able to share some of their insight in musical form. Kat Delphi is a singing pianist who's been on the platform for a number of years. She's a favorite with our customers, and she's always great to work with. She may or may not have won an award in the soloist category. You'll have to wait and find out. But we thought we'd take a quick breather and have a listen to some of her playing. So, hello, Kat. Can you hear us okay?
Hey,
right?
yes. Can you see me? I can't see myself on but
Hi.
yes, good. I'm so bad with Zoom. Oh my god.
Do you want to introduce yourself and maybe give us an idea of what you're going to play?
Yes. Well, I'm Kat Delphi, and I'm just going to do a little Christmas song, Silent Night. So, what's it called? Just a slashy one. I hope you like it. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round your virgin mother and child, holy infant, tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, Laws of light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord of thy birth, Jesus, Lord of thy birth, Jesus, Lord of thy birth. Thank you. Hope you could hear it that time.
Yeah, definitely. That was so much better. I'm glad we fixed that. Thank you so much for that beautiful performance. Definitely got me feeling Christmassy. And if you check the chat, Kat, you'll see all sorts of nice comments about your voice.
Oh, thank you so much.
That was a really nice breather.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm certainly feeling more festive. I'm now really excited to start presenting the winners of the individual awards, featuring top performing solo musicians who have been booking gigs right, left and centre this year. Generally, soloists get a few more bookings than groups because there's just easier logistically. So with that in mind, these musicians that are coming up have stacked up some eye-watering numbers this year. Even if you're not top of your category, it's worth saying that you should be really proud of the work you put in this year. If you've been invited, then you've got some bookings. So yeah, well done to you, and you should be really proud. Firstly, I'm going to announce the most booked act in each solo category again, from harp to DJ to bagpipes, everything in between. We'll speed through again. So yeah, Julia, if you wouldn't mind getting us started. First up, we have Bagpiper of the Year 2022, and that goes to Tony Hurst, who sadly couldn't be here today. He did message me saying to wish everyone a happy Christmas, which was really nice. So yeah, brilliant work this year, Tony. Next up, we have the most booked singer, which was hotly contested this year, but this goes to Rob Lee. Don't know if Rob's here, but congratulations from a fellow East Midlander, Rob, if you are here. And next goes the award for the most booked accordionist, which I think is David Buchanan for a second year in a row. David, brilliant work again this year, top pro, well done. Round of applause for these three. Onwards, we have the most booked violinist award, I believe. And this goes to Christinel. Christinel, it will be no surprise to anyone who works at Encore. He's proven year on year to be an absolute brilliant pro and has always given us really great feedback. So well done, Christinel. Next up, we have the most booked singing guitarist, which is well done again to Ross McWhirter. Ross was actually the most booked overall act in 2021. And we'll figure out if you've managed to repeat the feat later on. Congrats, Ross, if you're on the call. And next, we have the award for the most booked singing pianist, which is going to Kat Delphi, who I'm sure you're all familiar with now. Well done, Kat. You can see why she's so popular with customers. So well done to you three. On to the next musician. We have the most booked harpist. This goes to Glenda Alloway. Glenda is an absolute pleasure to work with time and time again. I've spoken to her and she's always really, really nice. And I can see some Encore team members nodding. They're really, really big fans of hers because she's always just such a pleasure to work with. On to the next musician, which is the Cellist Award. We have Lydia Alonso, who just goes from strength to strength to strength every year. She has some amazing ensembles for strings as well as her own soloist work. So big shout out to her. And finally, on this page, we have the Soloist Pianist Award, which goes to Michael Raggett, another back-to-back winner, who's at the top of our pianist list. Well done, Michael. And moving on, we have the Soloist Guitarist Awards, which goes to Jonjun. Jonjun, if you've never seen one of Jonjun's videos, I'd encourage you to watch them this evening. They're so entertaining. He plays like a flamenco hybrid guitar style, and it's so fun to watch. So yeah, definitely search him up. Onto our classical guitarist tag, which goes to Michael M, aka Michael Majestic. Brilliant work this year, Michael, and big shout out to you. Finally, for this page, we have our most booked organist, which is Stuart Watton. Fantastic work, Stuart, and thank you for being a real professional again this year. So well done to these three. And congratulations to all the winners of those categories. And yeah, as I said, and no doubt you all get even more bookings next year. On to the overall soloist award. First, the most booked new soloist. So this is for musicians who've made their new profile in 2022 and have raked in a huge number of bookings, the Encore Naturals, that's called them. And with a whopping 37 bookings in his first year, I've got to make noise for Alex Rimmel, who's, 37 bookings in your first year. It's amazing. Great work, Alex. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how much you can land in 2023. I think we can have a quick clip of Alex slamming the sax. Fantastic. Adele's never sounded so saxy. Finally, for the soloist award, we have the overall most booked soloist on the platform, which is a real achievement. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1 because there's so many people to shout out here. I'm in third place with a hefty 63 bookings made in 2022. We have singing guitarist Joey Braddock, who, that's just insane number of bookings. In second place with just one more than him, it's Ross McWhirter, who was last year's overall winner. Who was the most booked soloist last year. He had 64 bookings, which is remarkably the exact same amount of bookings as he had in 2021. Would have won it last year, Ross, but sadly you were just pipped at the post. So great work. But in first place, drumroll please. Thanks for that gift, Julio. It is sax extraordinaire Kelvin J. Parker. Kelvin has amassed an eye-watering 66 bookings this year, which is well over once a week. Seriously unbelievable numbers. And as we've seen, saxophonists are doing really well this year. So it's Kelvin. I think we can have a quick clip as well. Jazzy stuff. And I believe Kelvin should be on the call. Is Kelvin around? Kelvin, can you unmute yourself?
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, great to hear from you, Kelvin. Great. You're officially 2022's Encore Master. How does it feel?
I can't. That's incredible. I didn't think I'd done that many. So that's really impressive. Yeah, and also, I've been doing quite a few gigs with the Ear Candy DJs, which went bust, I think, around sort of September, October time. So I was thinking I'm a little bit down this kind of pre-Christmas time. So I'm actually amazed at that. So that's great. Yeah.
Well, brilliant. maybe a load of the bookings you've booked this year are coming in next year. So maybe you've got a really busy next year. But 66 is seriously impressive. You didn't have this many last year, and it's just shot up. It seems. Do you know what's changed from 2021 to 2022?
I've definitely targeted a lot more of the gigs instead of just sending out generic responses like a week or two afterwards, looking at emails and stuff like that. This year is I've really, as the chap was saying earlier, the guy who ran the group who won the award, I've really hit on potential gigs that I saw straight away, and I've tried to respond. But I'm glad you got this new thing coming in, because I am spending a lot of time trying to get back to people. I even tried employing someone to do it because I just couldn't fill in the time, and I wanted to do some practice and stuff. Thankfully that's gonna save me a whole lot of time. So that'd be great.
So glad to hear it. That's exactly the feedback we've been getting from other people. It's like, I'm loving the gigs, but maybe the admin time could be reduced. So we're looking at that for you. The things that stand out to me about your profile and the way you work on Encore in particular, 3 things. Your communication, as you mentioned, you send such lovely, thorough messages to every customer. You've also got an insane number of reviews on your profile, and you have a huge number of songs on your song list. I think there's like 500 plus songs on your song list.
555, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know your stuff, and it definitely shows. What do you put your success down to in terms of winning bookings?
I'm just so thankful for being a musician and going out and doing these gigs now. I'm one of the older guys out there, and I've been playing professionally all my life, over 40 years now. And instead of going around 4 or 5 gigs a week with bands and stuff, as I did before, the Joe Loss Orchestra and stuff, to be going out doing it on my own and getting these reviews back purely about me is great. I'm really just thankful for doing what we do. And I know that might sound a little bit corny, but in this day and age, to be playing music professionally and making a decent living out of it is fantastic. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Would you have any tips for anyone who's struggling to get gigs on Encore at the moment? Would you any advice?
I think the biggest thing is when you get peaks and troughs. Obviously there are definite peaks and troughs, and after I get certain lulls and I think, crikey, what am I doing here? Am I charging too much? And I wouldn't read into it. Just keep doing what you're doing, unless it's really not working, or you're seeing massive rewards come back. Then I think just keep doing what you're doing. Don't get too down on yourself, and keep trying to push yourself. I think that's the most important thing. Is everything we do, there's no expense. Everything is all about investing in yourself and investing in yourself as a business, which obviously, just as a musician playing for other bands, I never used to really do. Now I have to do it. So make sure my lights and my PA, 3 different PAs, are all top notch. And I think that's probably the biggest thing I'd say. Yeah, sorry, I'll probably gone on a bit.
No, not at all. It's great to hear from someone who gets so many bookings. Finally, any chance to rest over the festive period, or are you just squeezing in all your gigs that you booked this year?
It's not too bad, actually. I've kind of got to a stage now where I'm managing gigs over Christmas. So I've already done my December's work, which for me, I remember I'd earned X amount of pounds doing a panto, which is 5 weeks. I now chose, this is my first ever year not doing a panto. Yes, thank the Lord. And sitting in freezing cold pits, I'm kind of done with that. And I've actually earned, with just 9 gigs, I earned more money than I did with a 5-week panto, and I've still got 2 gigs to go. So, and I've just picked up another one for the first week of January. So, yeah, once again, it's nice. I'm busy enough, but thankfully I've got 5 or 6 days off over Christmas, so that's nice.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, and well done again on a brilliant year, Kelvin.
And a big thanks to you guys as well. I mean, I know probably like everyone else, I do call occasionally, like, oh, this has happened and that's happened. Can you help me out there? And I really do appreciate it, and it's a great thing. And obviously, I'm one of the first musicians that ever worked for Encore, because my ex was at school with you, Johnny, I think, wasn't she?
Who was that?
Angela Williams. Oh, no, it's your father was at the school. Was he head of music or?
The Royal Grammar School, High Wycombe, maybe?
Oh, hang on. She was around the Kingston area. Am I thinking of someone else?
My dad's first job was teaching music at Kingston
Right.
Grammar School.
I think it was there. Yeah, sorry, not you then.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's an interesting connection.
That's a connection.
And she said to me about she'd found out that there was something called Encore that was being set up. This is in 2017. So I was one of the first ever musicians. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
No,
Nice.
I'll let my dad know. I would have got him on the call if I'd known.
Yeah.
Well, brilliant. Well done again, Kelvin. That was such crazy numbers this year. And actually, let's just give a round of applause to all our top performing soloists again, because some seriously good work this year. And thanks, Kelvin, for joining us as well.
Thank you.
Right now, I'm going to pass over to my colleague Julio, who's going to really quickly tell us who's got the most bookings in each region. So, Julio, do you want to just quickly whirl through them?
Yes, thanks, George. So for those of you who don't know me yet, just very quick presentation. I'm the latest addition to our musician support team, and I'm here today to present regional awards. So these awards are a new entry to the ceremony. So let's, without further ado, let's find out who's got the most bookings in which region of the UK in 2022. And we are starting with the Northwest. That goes to 4th Keeley Band. Great job, guys. You've got the most booking in the Northwest this year. Amazing job. Then we got the Northeast, and that goes to Ross McCrindle. Amazing job, Ross. Very well done. Then we got a tie. That's actually for Yorkshire and the Hamburg. We got a tie, and that goes to Alistair Grant and Ross McWhirter. Well done, guys. Great job. Then we got the West Midlands, and that goes to Alec Wares. Amazing job, Alex. Alec has got more than 30 bookings in the West Midlands this year, so that's an amazing result. Then we got East Midlands, and that goes to Christopher Heron. Amazing job, Christopher. Well done, really well done. Next is Southeast, and Joy Braddock has got the most booking in the Southeast and London. He scored more than 50 bookings in the Southeast and the London area. So amazing job, Joy, this year. Very well done. Then we got the Southwest, and that goes to Vicky Watson. Great job, Vicky. She's got more than 20 bookings in the Southwest. Then we got another tie for Scotland. Gordon Bowie and Gary Thompson are our most booked musicians in Scotland this year. Amazing job, guys. Then we got Wales, and that goes to MJ DJ Sax, which is called Michael. Amazing job, Michael. Very well done. And then last but not least, we got Northern Ireland, and John Murphy is the musician that this year has got most bookings in Northern Ireland. Amazing job, guys. Big round of applause to all of our regional winners. Really well done, as George is saying on screen. Congrats, all. Big shout out. And now back to George as we're moving on with our bonus awards.
Thank you, Julia. Yeah, well done to everyone involved in there. Something like, what was it, 30 bookings in the West Midlands there? That's insane. So we're going to rattle through some bonus awards now as we start to wrap up the main awards. So firstly, for the bonus awards, I'd like to introduce my colleague Holly, who's I think is on the call. She's an expert in all things customer service, and she's going to introduce our first award. Holly, you there?
Yes. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, George. It's our Customer Communication Award. So customer comms is such an important part of the booking process. And good comms help establish like a good relationship and a good level of trust between yourself and the customers. And this also helps prevent any kind of issues arising further down the line. So the whole team submitted our favorite examples of good customer comms, and we all had a clear winner. which was Step and Soul. It was Catania from Step and Soul. So yeah, big congratulations. So yeah, she's an absolute delight to work with. I'm always bringing in so many great reviews, and customers are always saying how great she is to work with, and how good and prompt her responses are. So yeah, big congratulations to you guys.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Holly, for presenting that award. Next up, we have an award that goes to someone who has stepped in at the very last minute to save the day with a booking. And to present this award, we have another member of our customer experience team, Tommy Hamer, if you'd like to step up to the plate.
Hello, thank you very much, guys. Yeah, we thought it'd be really worthwhile to give a moment to shout out to some musicians who truly did save the day this year. There are dozens and dozens of them worth mentioning, and every single one of them has gone to amazing lengths to make someone's special occasion just as special as it was planned to be. And we all know that the unexpected can happen, and occasionally does happen. And I and the rest of the customer service team work to find a replacement musician who can step in when, for whatever reason, the original musician is no longer able to make it. We have three notable nominees who I wanted to mention before announcing the winner. Firstly, Vocal Works Gospel Choir, who very recently stepped in on the day of an event for a big event with Amazon, with only a few hours' notice. That was an amazing effort by them to get a group of singers to this event. Another notable nominee was Barbara Krajewska, the violinist, who, even more impressively, within a matter of 1.5 hours before the event start, submitted a quote and was booked and went straight over to the event to play, which was a truly incredible turnaround. And the final nominee is Prostbusters, who covered an Encore event with, again, only a few hours notice, also having to travel from London all the way to Wolverhampton. And so they are our winners for this category, just for the sheer logistical effort that went into saving this gig, performing at an Officers' Mess event. But as I say, dozens of worthy nominees this year, and thank you to everyone for your efforts in turning around quotes really quickly and the efforts you go to step up for these last minute bookings. It's really appreciated by us in the team, and even more so by the customers who still get to have your wonderful music at their events. So thanks very much, and a special congratulations to Prostbusters.
Absolutely. That's, yeah, round of applause to all of those. Yeah, that's insane. Getting together an Encore band within like an hour's notice and getting them up the motorway. That's insane. Yeah, thank you, Tommy. On to the next awards then, as we get through. Feedback. As you may know, I'm always banging on about feedback. Please to give us your feedback. How can we improve the platform, both over email and on our community page and at events like these? But I wanted to give a special shout out to Andrew Bruel, who, I don't know if he's here, but he constantly provides us with thorough feedback in the community. And I was pretty blown away recently by this piece of feedback where we've been speaking about this instant quoting, how it could work, and he just broke down all of his considerations. This is just one example of the many bits of feedback that he's given in the community. And if you're not in the community, then you should definitely join. We're always having conversations around products and how we can change it. But as James said earlier, we want to build our products with the musicians, not for the musicians. And so thank you to Andrew for this. And a sneaky runner-up, because I just thought it was quite funny, would be this from Craig Phillips. I posted saying, what kind of statistics would you like to know about your Encore profile? What kind of insights? He asked what kind of, for a breakdown of sausage rolls versus sandwiches eaten at wedding buffets. I'm sure we can all relate as wedding musicians. Sadly, we didn't have time to put together a pie chart, but there we go. Sorry about that. Moving on. So yeah, we have this community page, as I mentioned, and we love having so many brilliant conversations with you. We launched this at the start of this year. There have been so many contributors, but I just wanted to dedicate a special award to David Dyer of Twist of Rock, who I think I saw on the call, who's our contributor of the year in the community. David is such an engaged and valued member of our community. He really just is always engaged in the conversation. He's starting posts, he's starting conversations, he's giving feedback, he's getting involved in live streams or whatever. He's just, so thorough. So thank you so much, David, for that.
Amazing. Thanks very much, George. And I can see in the chat that James has just posted a link to the community. So if you're not in the community already, please do join. We have plenty of discussions about gigging and the future of Encore there, which we'd love to hear your thoughts on. And some great examples of David Dye's feedback there. So the next award has been submitted by our new head of B2B, Jess. James mentioned we're now working with lots of corporate customers and venues, wedding planners, to get more regular bookings for musicians coming through the platform. And this was a particular venue that was the most impressive. Nova, who are an acoustic duo, played here, and we just wanted to highlight some of the amazing spaces that our musicians are performing in. It's not necessarily an award for a particular musician, but it looks very beautiful and we wanted to include it anyway.
More of them, please.
Now over to Giulio, who's going to talk through the most impressive profiles he's been looking at this year. One of Giulio's roles is to review Encore musicians' profiles, spruce them up, give advice to musicians who want to improve them. So he's an expert in this area. So Giulio, if you'd like to take it from here.
Thanks, Johnny. Yeah, so just like Johnny mentioned, yeah, most of my daily routine basically consists in reviewing profiles on the platform. So I'm here to present to you the soloist and group profiles that impressed me the most this year. And without further ado, I'm going to start with the most impressive soloist profile. And by the way, I'm going to send a link to both profiles in the chat just after this, so you guys can check it out, check both profiles out in your own free time. But yeah, without further ado, the winner of most impressive profile soloist is Bethany Jane. Really well done, Bethany. Shout out. We can see a bit of her profile in here now. Bethany, I really love your videos. I think you just got a new photo shoot done, which I think really adds to the overall presentation. Your media is just brilliant. But I also love the attention to detail in your price guide, in your FAQ section. You got a brilliant extensive song list. And last but not least, you got lots of raving reviews from previous customers, which is awesome. Overall, this is a really fantastic profile, really impressive. So shout out to Bethany for this one. Quick clap. And then moving on to the winner of the most impressive group profile award, that would be the Instigators. So well done, guys. By the way, I don't know if Bethany is on the call or the Instigators. I do really hope so, but yeah, shout out to you guys. Another really great profile. Again, really some brilliant media on this profile, great videos. But what I really loved about this profile is the biography. I think you guys have done an amazing job at presenting yourself and the services you can offer in your biography, and also loved your song list as well. Very well formatted, very carefully answered FAQs, lots of reviews. Overall, yeah, another really impressive profile. So fantastic job, guys. Another round of applause for the Instigators. And now just moving back to George for some more fun stuff. And again, I'm going to send the link to both profiles in the chat now, so you guys can check them out later. Thanks.
Perfect. Thanks, Giulio. Yeah, all the links that we've spoken about tonight will be in the chat. And yeah, we'll also share the survey that James mentioned earlier for you to give a go at the end of the call as well. Finally, I thought I'd just throw in some really fun highlights from the end of the year, from the whole of the year, I should say. First of all, the most outrageous job description award. As we all know, customers looking for musicians have slightly strange expectations of how much they should pay or what they can expect from musicians. And we're constantly on the lookout trying to close their inquiries or fix them. Often it's frustrating, but sometimes we do stumble across some gold. So we often send funny examples to each other in the team. So here are 3 of our favorites, but there was honestly so many. These are genuine descriptions from Encore customers. So in 3rd place, looking for a rock musician, ideally Freddie Mercury, but would consider any other options. Budget up to £450 to £500. Firstly, that budget. And secondly, who's going to tell her about Freddie Mercury? I'm not. Sorry to that customer. Second, it's for my mother's 70th birthday. We're looking for a band that plays nightclub classics and hip hop. Slightly different to how my mother's 70th will unfold, I imagine, but sounds good to me. And first of this, my daughter's in a band with some of her friends, so she sent me a few of their demos, and quite frankly, they are quite S-word. So I'd be grateful for suggestions. So that's a dad just telling what he really thinks of his daughter's music. I wish my dad said the same about when I was learning my music.
A bit of feedback.
Yeah, a bit of feedback. So yeah, that's my winner for this year. But if you've seen anything more outrageous than those 3, please do let me know. And finally, the I Can't Talk Right Now awards. Every time a customer inquires, we try to get them on the phone as quickly as possible to hear more about what they want and make sure that they're matched with the right acts, you guys. Sometimes we get through, sometimes we don't, but a lot of the time they'll ask for a call back. They can be for some pretty funny reasons. So our team often share their favorites. So there's a few of them on the screen now. I'll give you a call back tomorrow. I'm just on the tennis court at the moment. That's all right for some. Next we have
Just in the shower.
I'm just in the shower. Can you call me back, please? I'm not sure how that was answered. I'm not sure if someone's got some really waterproof phone, but or was just very careless. But answering the phone in the shower seems a little bit weird. Can't lie. Next was I genuinely can't talk at the moment. I'm just galloping a horse and it's about to take off with me. All right, well, another weird moment to answer the phone. Now is not a great time. I'm driving a boat down the River Thames. Could you call me back this afternoon? Well, this is a different line for some. And sorry, David can't talk right now. He's operating a crane. So every crane operator has a receptionist, it seems. And this is my personal favorite. Sorry, now isn't a great time. I'm on a beach and my son has just pushed someone into the sea. So there you can see someone taking a call from Encore and pushing someone into the sea. They were my favorite. And shout out to all our bonus award winners as well. You guys rock. And if you've seen anything more outrageous than anything on there, then do let us know in the community page. And yeah, that's all. You can stop sharing, Julia.
Amazing. Thanks so much for that, George. Just to clarify, Encore doesn't endorse any beach-based violence. We have nothing to do with that, but it is quite funny. Next, we have a short networking break just before we close, just so we can let off some steam, have a quick chat about what we've just seen. Maybe something a little bit more related to next year. I thought we could talk about if you have anything you're planning to do in 2023 that's different to what you've done this year, particularly thinking around tactics or strategies you might be looking to employ to get more gigs, or maybe you're planning on taking up a new instrument, maybe you're going to form a new group or add a new lineup option, learn some new songs, maybe just have a think about what you'd like to do next year and get inspired about what other people are doing. So for me personally, I played drums in a Brazilian band and I really want to play at some festivals in the summer. So I need to work back from that and I need to think about which contacts and which venues I need to play at in order to get those festival gigs. That's my number one goal. So Judo, if you're able to put us into some breakout rooms, we will then move to chat. Thank you.
There you go. See you in a second, guys.